I'm Christine Persichetti with this current news update. Louisiana is in survival mode following the landfall of Hurricane Ida. The storm hit Sunday as a Category 4. Ida has weakened to a tropical storm, but over 50 million people are under flash flood watches from the Gulf Coast to the Northeast, and the entire city of New Orleans was left without power. Archbishop Gregory Aymond, head of the Archdiocese of New Orleans, sending out this prayer for New Orleans ahead of the storm. The mass obligation was lifted this weekend across the city, and Catholic schools were closed on Monday. The U.S. military vowing to press on in the final hours of withdrawal from Afghanistan, even after insurgents fired several rockets at Kabul airport.
U.S. military forces successfully employed our force protection measures to thwart that attack. U.S. forces retain the inherent right of self-defense and are authorized to meet threats with a swift and forceful response.
Video shows an incinerated car that the rockets were reportedly fired from. One rocket hit a nearby building, but no one was hurt there. The rocket attacks come 2 days after a suicide bomber killed 13 Americans and some 170 Afghans. Amid the violence, Pope Francis is urging dialogue among Afghanistan's leaders and asking the Catholic faithful to pray and fast for the country's people.
Preghiera, digiuno, preghiera e penitenza. Questo è il momento di farlo.
During his Sunday Angelus, the Holy Father saying he shares in the suffering of those who lost loved ones in Kabul. Meanwhile, recovery efforts are underway in Haiti. Many Catholic charities providing food and shelter to those impacted by the earthquake. Survivors of the 7.2 magnitude quake are now dealing with crumbling homes and overcrowded hospitals. Catholic relief services and cross-Catholic outreach have been on the ground since the disaster. They say they've only been able to reach the most vulnerable thanks to the country's faithful. And here in the Diocese of Brooklyn, the faithful are also looking to lend a hand. Last year, we introduced you to a warehouse where old church fixtures go to retire. But as Currents News' Jessica Easthope reports, many of those pieces may soon have a new home in Haiti.
This, maybe this.
Solid oak door.
These are all things Monsignor John Bracken says could be used in Haiti.
It's an aid to devotion, real connection that we are a universal church, that we are one body, there's one Lord, one faith, one baptism, and we're happy to share it with each other.
Right now, they're being kept in the diocese warehouse, a home for all the unused or old items from churches across Brooklyn and Queens. But Monsignor Bracken, who runs the warehouse, says they're ready to travel the globe. After that 7.2 magnitude earthquake shook the island earlier this month, churches were destroyed, most notably Immaculate Conception Parish in Les Anglais and Sacred Heart in Les Cayes. Now the Diocese of Brooklyn wants to lend a hand and give back in a way you can't put a price on.
It should be something that is used for worship, and that's our biggest pleasure when we're able to send something.
This is a church bell.
The warehouse has sent items to Haiti in the past. This time, the request hasn't come yet. Usually it happens when the country is ready to rebuild. A representative will browse the warehouse, and whatever's needed will be shipped right to Haiti. Parishioners here often pay for the shipping. New York City has the largest population of Haitians in the country, and the warehouse only adds to the connection.
To be able to share some of their history and our history, to be able to strengthen a Christian community thousands of miles away, there is a tie that binds us.
All of these items have a higher purpose. Monsignor Bracken has marveled at them over the years, but he says there's nothing better than when they leave and go where they're needed. In Bushwick, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Cardinal Raymond Burke is on the road to recovery. His Eminence tweeting Saturday that he's been transferred out of the ICU and will now face intensive rehabilitation. Cardinal Burke was put on a ventilator 2 weeks ago due to complications from COVID. He expressed his gratitude to the medical professionals and to those who have prayed for his recovery. That is this Currents News update. The newscast will be back to its full length this fall when we move to our new studio. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news.